Hi, Bob. How are you, Professor?
How are you, Professor? How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I couldn't find you because you have this small little line between Bob and Khanna. So I was just typing Bob Khanna. But now I'm so happy that you have joined us because you have here so many fans that are waiting for you to know you better. And of course, we will see you next Saturday live, and we can't wait.
And I can't wait too. I'm really excited to see you guys. You'll have to be honest with you. I thought that this latest outbreak was going to completely ruin everything. But you know what? Where there's a will, there's a way. So
Yes.
We're going to make it happen. It's going to be super exciting.
Okay.
I'm dying to meet you guys. I'm dying to come to your country for the first time. I've heard so many amazing things. So
Okay.
Really waiting for it. Yeah.
Okay, very nice. So you are a world famous expert. I have now explained a little bit to my friends and to your future fans. And please tell me, how long have you been involved in aesthetics and how long are you in this business?
Too long. 1996. Can you believe it? 1996. So that means in 5 years' time, that will be 30 years that I've been involved in facial aesthetics. Unbelievable. I can't believe it myself. And I qualified in 92 as a dentist. So you can imagine 4 years later, I got involved with facial aesthetics at a time where nobody was doing facial aesthetics. Can I be honest with you? Even globally, it was just very, very few people. So interesting times, you know? I mean, really 30 years, I've seen so much and I've been a huge part of it and it's exciting. And I'm just so excited to be able to share my knowledge and skills with everybody else.
So how long have you been teaching and how many doctors have went through your academy? And we were in contact today, and today you had also a course.
You know what? I'm teaching so often, we kind of losing count. I mean, last year, my team tried to find out exactly how much, and they lost count. Over 46,000 delegates have been through our institute.
Unbelievable. This is a huge number.
And this is not taking into account the master classes that I do globally. So that's on separate. So when you think about all the conferences that I've been involved with over the last 2 decades, it's crazy. But you know what? I love it. I absolutely love sharing my knowledge. I'm so passionate. Even now, even after all these years, I just love it. It's great.
Okay, so you will be the first time in Serbia next weekend. Why haven't you come earlier? Where have you been?
Where have I been?
Been too busy, I think.
Never too busy for you guys. Honestly, it's just circumstance. I've been here pretty much every country, every continent. I've had many Serbian doctors come and visit me. And also I meet them at my conferences around the world, but I've never actually been to your wonderful country. I've been next door. I'm going to swear at you, but I've been to Croatia many times.
Okay, our neighbors, our dear neighbors.
Dear neighbors.
It's not far away.
But I've never had the opportunity or fortune to come to your country. So thank you for inviting me.
You're very welcome. Thank you for accepting the invitation. So next week we will see each other, and tell us a little bit more. Can you give us a little sneak? What will you teaching us about, and what will you show us here?
Okay, so you promised to keep this to yourselves, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, I am going to share with you guys my absolute latest techniques for sculpting the face. This is like stuff I haven't even shared with the world on the world stage. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to be teaching you from top to bottom how to sculpt the face 3-dimensionally. Not that you need it, Dana. You look amazing, but
a little bit, but please, just a little bit for me. I'm begging you.
You know what? How could I possibly perfect what is already perfected? But I will show all of the doctors, the delegates that are going to be there, how to systematically create magic. And the most important thing is how to do it safely, how to do it predictably,
Okay.
All right, so you've got to take into account the anatomy. So I'll give you an anatomy masterclass, just like by default. All right, so I'm going to go heavy into anatomy. I'm going to go heavy into techniques, concepts. I'm happy to discuss other techniques, and people can say to me, what about this technique? What about that technique? Happy to discuss anything they want to, because, you know, the wonderful thing about teaching the way I teach is that I'm very critical about everything. So I question every step. So therefore, quite frankly, if I don't know the answer to those questions, there's a problem. So I'm happy to take on board any criticisms, any different types of techniques, but more importantly, I'm going to show you my techniques.
Okay.
How to affect the profile three-dimensionally, how to create symmetry, how to create the best proportions for male and female, young and old, different racial backgrounds, everything.
But
So,
you have many techniques, and you have invented many concepts. Where do you get all these ideas? And I imagine you're thinking all the time about your job.
all the time.
Is this true?
I never stop. You know what? Ever since I was a little boy, I have to tell you this, I used to study my mother putting on her makeup. Okay. I used to sit there like a little boy, just wondering, why is she doing it like this? Why is she doing this? And I was fascinated. And I've got two sisters. And of course, you know, I'm surrounded by women who work for me and what have you. So for me, I've always been fascinated by females and what they do to make themselves look more beautiful. And therefore, my mindset from an early age has always been set about beauty and aesthetics. And for me, when it comes to being in aesthetics and aesthetic medicine, it's very simple. I look at what is beautiful, and then I ask the question, why is it beautiful? What is it about this particular person or this particular part of their face that looks amazing? How can I replicate this? And then after a while, your brain processes things in a way that is so quick. So when I watch TV, for example, when I watch a film and I see an actress or an actor, I'm always looking at things three-dimensionally. I'm looking at the positives, and I'm looking at the negatives, and I'm thinking, what would I do if this was my patient? How would I manage this situation? Because can I tell you something, Dana? There isn't a person on earth who doesn't want something done here or there. I treat film stars, I treat models, actresses, everyone. And I can tell you, when the makeup is off, they can have anything. There could be the slight little adjustments. And in fact, I'll be talking about this. I'll be talking about various celebrities and da-da-da-da-da. And I'll look at pluses and negatives. So to answer your question, what makes me create these things is because I look for things all the time. And I'm always looking for solutions. I'm a fixer. And when you're a fixer, you naturally create solutions. And it's a great thing because I can innovate just thinking. And I've always been one of these kind of inventors and innovators. And that's what I brought to aesthetic medicine. So it makes it fun. I love it. And it means, fortunately or unfortunately, I'm never satisfied. I'm always looking for better. How can I make this better or safer?
But it is good. This is that's what drives you to be better and better every time.
Totally.
Okay.
Totally.
Okay. And I'm sure you have done a lot of remodeling of the face, and also for your colleagues. Do doctors come to you, your colleagues, and asking you to help them to look even better?
You know what? One of the things I'm very blessed with is probably 35–40% of my patients are actually the profession. So I have so many doctors from all over the world come and see me for their own faces. And that, you know, many of them are happy to share their cases. And so I can use them on my presentations, and I often do. And that's wonderful. I love that. The fact that the responsibility they give me on their face, because that to me is probably I would say the biggest accolade, the biggest kind of achievement that somebody like me can have, is that you're trusted by your colleagues to do their treatment. Yes. I mean, that is, for me, amazing. And I'm very conscious of this, and I'm very mindful of this, and I feel very responsible to do things properly, you know, because you're only as good as your last patient. You're only as good as your last case. So, you know, I like challenges, and I like to succeed. So for me, it's a pleasure and privilege.
Was it a long path for you? Because when you started back in the 90s, it was not a big famous deal to do with hyaluron fillers, or?
Not at all, no. It wasn't a big thing at all. Most of the time it was all about Botox, and mainly here, Botox here, and then maybe a little bit of filler here. That was pretty much it. And then nose to mouth lines. Then this kind of thing started to develop. And then people started to realize that there was bigger picture. One of the things I did very early on is insist that you must have a full face approach. I'm dead against this whole just pick out one feature, one area, do the nose, do the chin, do the lip in isolation. So one of the things I'll be teaching in Serbia and in Belgrade is the importance of bringing it all together. And how do you bring it together? What comes first? What is your strategy? How much do you put here? How much do you put there? You know, this kind of stuff. It's very important that we make sure that we have a plan. And the planning is key. In fact, I would say planning is number one. Being able to assess and planning is number one. And then the execution, which is obviously the treatment, has to be absolutely beautifully silk. You know, it must be, you know, smooth and delicate and seamless so that you get this beautiful artistic, poetic result, which is what I like.
So it's a whole concept and you are teaching this, and it is very, very good. Okay, I'm sure that our clients and friends, they will enjoy your masterclass and learn a lot. Even if they see something they didn't see earlier, I'm sure that they will be very happy and glad.
Well, like I said, absolutely, it's my privilege to share my latest techniques, and I'm sure there's going to be something for everybody. I'll make sure of that. There's going to be some really new stuff that they haven't seen, new concepts. Like I said, I'm always perfecting. And one of the things I did very early on in my career was develop the concept of profiloplasty, how to correct beautiful profiles. And I launched this in Monaco in 2009. And what I've done with that even is I've developed that further and further. So I've got some new strategies for this that everybody is going to want to utilize in their practices.
Great, thank you so much. And tell me more about the fillers that you use and that you like to work with it, and why is that?
So yeah, one of the benefits of being in the industry so long is I've used pretty much everything.
Yes.
And in fact, I've been privileged enough to be an international KOL, key opinion leader, for many of the brands, the famous brands like Allergan, Teoxane, Mertz, Galderma, you know, QMed, Restylane, the lot. So I pretty much used most senior brands. And so I'm very critical about what I use, because ultimately the fillers have to be, it's like a marriage, all right? If you are doing great work and your products are also very good, you've got a great marriage. Everything's going to work out beautifully. You've got great synergy. If you have one thing not working for you, so either the products are not so good or the techniques are not so good, the end result is going to be a car crash. It's going to be a disaster. So one of the benefits of what I do is I'm constantly involved with many companies that give me new ideas, new products, and they say, can you try this? Can you evaluate our products? And I was very honored many years ago to be part of MD Skin's L'Oreal range, which I started using. I was a bit skeptical. I thought, I don't know, another filler. Oh, another filler, right? You just think, how different can this possibly be?
There is so many on the market.
Yeah, and I thought, you know what? I've seen it, been it, done it. Hyaluronic acid is like any other hyaluronic acid. You know that often many of us think that way. But I have to say, how wrong was I? Using L'Oreal has enabled me to up my game, because let me tell you something. You get very little swelling with these products. That's unequivocal. I mean, I don't think there's a product that can compete with it. Very easy to inject. They have a very complicated way of presenting their fillers. So they have like a booster, and then they have a very light filler like Classic, and then they have a slightly thicker filler called Volume, and then the thickest one they offer is Contour. So in other words, with those fillers, you can pretty much do everything on the face. You don't need to like look at other types of fillers. It's very simple. So you've got literally 3-4 types of products that you can do pretty much everything with. And the wonderful thing is, I'm done. I've got everything at my fingertips. I've got a product that works. I've got a product that is evidence-based, tried and tested in over 70 countries around the world. And there are other benefits from a biochemical point of view in terms of the consistency. They contain very little cross-linking agent, the BDDE. They also contain very little residual endotoxins. Sorry to go geeky on you, but let me tell you something. That makes a big difference, because when you're talking about post-op swelling, you just don't get it. And, you know, because Dana, you know, one of the things I do often is I treat my doctors who come to see me for training, and they may be on a 4-day program. So I may treat them after the course. I'll do their treatment day 1. And then they've got to sit in my class for the next 3 days. You've got to understand.
Yeah, of course.
So I get the benefit, which I don't get to do with my patients. I get to see these guys every day. How are they doing? I've just done her tear troughs. I've just done her cheeks. I've just done her lips. I've just done her nose. Something like this. And it's amazing. And you develop this wonderful comfort that actually this product works with me. It doesn't give me these problems. And as a doctor in the industry, you don't want problems. You don't want complications. You want an easy life. You don't want headaches. And this is why I use these products. And I have to say, I'm blessed. I'm so happy to use these products because it allows me to be myself, express myself, and develop these techniques without having the issues that other products will give you. So yeah, big thumbs up. Thank you.
Great, very nice. And Pluriel is always telling us your most beautiful age is now. So you are helping many people around the world to live their most beautiful age now, and to maybe get back their confidence, because this is all about it. To be more confident.
Confidence, yes.
Yes, to be more confident and to be happier and to look good and to feel good inside, like outside. So 100%. You are not just a doctor, you are a healer, Bob.
You know what? I think when you care about patients, it comes automatically, because you don't just care about making them look good. You want them to feel good inside, because actually it's very linked. How you feel outside and inside is completely like this. And I invest a lot of time in my patients. I take care about their health. I talk about nutrition. I talk about exercise. I talk about mental well-being. I love it because, you know, aging is such a thing that it affects you 4-dimensionally. It's not just the way you look. It's how you feel mentally. It's your energy levels. It's how you process and how you interact with other people. The whole thing affects the way you age. And actually, you can look older and behave older by just your mannerisms. You understand? So people who look young can be very old in their ways just by the way they interact with other people. So in a sense, Dana, I like to look at the person as a whole, because I'm looking at their outside, but really it's a reflection of their inside. And that's why I'm very mindful that psychologically I need to dig deep. I need to dig deep and understand what is driving this person. How do I heal them? So to use your words, I think automatically you become a healer. Yeah.
And I'm sure that you will heal many of us next Saturday and make us happy.
It will be my pleasure. I will look
teach
forward
us
to it.
Many new things. Because here, you know, the most popular filler technique is like lips and a little bit cheekbones, but it's very interesting to see the whole concept. I can't wait, Bob, for next Saturday.
I'm gonna love it. And you know the other thing, Dana, one of the things that's lost in my profession is that the ability to treat a woman like a woman and a man like a man. You see a lot of men are having treatment and they're being feminized incorrectly. And this is a disaster. So I'm going to be talking about that. I'm going to be talking about how to prevent these problems, how to keep your males looking male, and how to keep your females looking female.
Great.
Because I enjoy this, because let's be honest, most females around the world want to be more feminine or want to stay feminine. They want to look younger, rejuvenated. Men generally don't want to be feminized. They want to look like males. And there's some rules. There's some things that I can share with you and strategies to prevent people from getting into trouble with that. So lots. I've got so much. I'm bursting with this knowledge to give you.
I think one day won't be enough.
It's not. It's never going to be enough. Trust me.
But I promise you, we will visit you again and come back to you, to your academy, to London. I will bring to you a great group of people, and we will learn together.
Oh, it will be my pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much for this interview. And I'm thanking also the Germanos family, the Floreal company, and all my team, and Cesium. And we will have a great event next Saturday.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. And yeah, it's definitely a highlight of my year.
Watching. Hi, people. Hi, all of you. So we are all waiting for you, and we can't wait. Please hurry up.
I will. Hopefully the rules don't change and I can still come and everything's going to be fine. So just please,
I can read today that everything is fine. This new type is already old, so don't worry.
Exactly. Thank you very much for having me, Dana. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Have a nice evening, and
you too. Enjoy. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Hvala svima. Thank you. Bye.